Everybody just pedaling easily. We're I see some people still getting on bikes, but everyone at that easy 3-ish out of 10, back to where we pretty much just got up from our coffee. So we're nearing, we're really close to the end of our RBC Fondo route, and we did simulate getting very close to the end in the last effort, but depending on where you're riding, there's going to be all sorts of different variables that you'll come across in an event like this, and so I'll just talk about that in a second. But I had a question, and this is back to the lingo thing. What I mean when I'm talking about core in cycling, probably. Maybe hadn't heard that reference before. And I know it's a term we hear a lot, but really what you want to think of when you're on your bike and we're thinking about our core, it's your center, it's your stabilizer. I really mean all your strong ab muscles. We all have strong ab muscles, right? And basically the trunk of your body. And one of the things that I noticed when I started working with new cyclists a decade ago was some of the simple things we need to do on a bike, such as grabbing your water bottle, which would be down here, right? Grabbing your water bottle, turning around with your wheel straight, looking behind you, holding yourself in a straight line. If you have the misfortune of someone actually connecting with you, making contact, that nice, strong, stable position on the bike means that you're easily just not going to get pushed around, pushed over at all. And sometimes someone just makes a mistake when you're in a bigger mass ride, group ride. So all of these things, it's just a constant awareness that you're strong in here. This also is something you want to think about, just not collapsing over the bike, right? So when I say collapsing over the bike, it's sort of the like punching into your pedals, hanging over with a curved back, all of those sorts of things. So nice and strong. We don't have our shoulders up like this because we need to be relaxed. This is our shock absorber. It's another thing. Strong in the center, but then you're always going to have little aberrations in the road, little rough patches, suddenly hit some sort of a divot. And really importantly, if you're relaxed up here, any of you who commute a lot will know this because you're on and off smooth pavement or into gravel or whatever. Off-road riders have a lot more experience with this as well because you're used to dealing with it. But if you have a good, strong connection with the handlebars, but not gripping, soft through the arms, let them move as you hit things on the road, and then relax up here, strong in the center. A lot of things can happen underneath your bike that don't affect you very much. Okay, so that's basically, for the people who are asking, what I meant. We're going to start bringing the effort up from our 3 out of 10 to just bring it up a level. Your next one, 4 out of 10, a little bit of gear, holding yourself at that comfortable cadence, 90 to 100. So a little bit more gear, just tease it in. We're going to spend a minute, rest of the minute here, and then I'm going to start to get into the structured warm-up. And this warm-up is something that I certainly would have done before a race in my racing days. And it's really just gently sort of working through your systems, bringing some leg speed in, bringing some effort in, so you're ready for what's going to essentially be us jumping to close to the end of our ride, about 108 kilometers in. Okay? A little bit further than that, actually. So bring it up to 5 out of 10. A little bit more gear. Good. Settle into it. So this is gentle. It's not giving ourselves a shock. Make sure you're comfortable. Get on those fans, windows open, all of those sorts of things. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. It's a fallacy that the more you sweat, the buckets you sweat, means better training. Some people just sweat more. It's a thing. But also, to do quality riding, you actually want to create an environment that's as comfortable for you as possible. Okay? So we're going to go into the structure out of our 5 out of 10. So you're there right now, 90 to 100 cadence, which is what we call our preferred cadence, perfect cadence, sort of a flat road cadence. And we're just feeling what's going on for the day here. I want you to make sure, as I say, your upper body's relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out, let the shoulders come down. Make sure your gear isn't too high. First little part, whenever you get on your bike, and I remember asking my teammate this one time, we're somewhere getting ready for a big race, and do your legs just hurt every day in the morning? And she gave it a one of these. So yes, sometimes our 5 or 6 out of 10 feels a little bit more when we're first bringing it in, but just go with that. Muscles need to just accept a little bit of work and get ourselves ready. Okay? We're going to do an acceleration from here. So you're in your 90 to 100 RPM range. We're going to do a little up in the cadence on my cue. Bring it up 5 RPM. In 2, 1. Roll it up. First time. Not adjusting our gear for right now. Good. Just bringing some effort in through our leg speed without changing the gear. It'll feel like it comes up to a 60%, a 6 out of 10. All right, back down. Back down. Relax again. Every time you nudge a little bit of lactate in there, come back, recover, feels better the next time. All right, make sure your gear hasn't crept up, or make an adjustment in shifting if it's feeling a little bit too high a load right now. 1 whole minute at that increased cadence. 5 to 10 RPM this time. 2, 1, up, up, roll it up. Job. Nice and relaxed. Learning sometimes to just use that cadence to bring up the speed on the bike. Watts on the bike is your power output, and power is a combination of the gear you're in or the force and the rate you turn it at, RPM, velocity. A little bit longer here. Relax those shoulders. See a couple up like this. All right, give ourselves another 15 seconds here, and then you're going to bring it right down, back to your 50%. 5, 2, and 1. Back down to your 50%. 90 to 100 cadence where you started. So the Sea to Sky route that we do in the RBC GranFondo has lots of elements. We've explored a few in the crux sections. When we come towards the end, it's kind of one big long crux, right? Last 15K, last 25K, it's got a lot of little unwelcome pushes, and then depending on who you're riding with or the range you're in, the speed you're at, there's going to be some different elements as well. You may be with a larger group, smaller group. There may be some dynamics of really racing. There may be some dynamics of just trying to get through it. All right, at your 60% now, bring that gear up a little bit. 90 to 100 cadence. Going from a little harder gear. Gonna do the same thing for me. Settle in, muscles accept the workload, a little bit higher. You're gonna do an acceleration, short one, then you're gonna come back and do a longer one. As we're at this effort level, this power level, for those of you that are working off power, 60%, you can put words together. Feels a little harder in warm-up quite often than it will later. Let your muscles accept the new workload. Okay, a little blip, 5 RPM, first of all. 2, 1, up, up. I was riding right at 100 cadence, 25 pedal strokes every 15 seconds. I'm bringing it up about a pedal stroke, a quarter minute. Back down. Good job. Tease that effort into the muscles. Let it come back. And then we'll do another longer one. From 100 cadence, where I am, a little bit lower. I said 90 to 100. You're going to do a whole minute, bringing it up. 5 to 10 RPM. 2, 1, wind it up. A little bit of leg speed. Nice and stable in the middle, remember. Core engaged. Pistons. Just focus on the pistons. This brings the effort level, for me, certainly around 70%. Right now, less than 30 seconds. Head up, Carmen. All right, a little bit more. 10 seconds. Hold on to it. 3, 2, let yourself drop back to your regular cadence. 90 to 100. Recover, recover. Nicely done, everyone. I'm going to have you back off for almost a minute here. Bring it back down. Too easy. And then we're going to come right up to 7 out of 10 as a base, 70%. You're going to be using that fair amount today as your base. One of the realities of doing a long, hard ride is quite often what started out feeling like you're 70%, maybe at the end, opposite of warming up, starts to feel like, oh, gosh, how is it so hard to go this hard, or this not so hard, all right? Bring it up now. Preferred cadence, 70%. Last little charge here in this warm-up, or this part of the warm-up. 1, bring that gear in. Think about your lower body now. A little bit more recruitment of your butt muscles, hamstrings, Let the ankles move. Try and keep your upper body nice and relaxed and quiet. Holding on to this now. One little acceleration, first of all. In 2, 1, bring it up 5 RPM. Up, up. Just a little one. Back down. Feel that 7 out of 10 again. Try and bring it back. And then our last increase for a minute. Ready? We'll wind it up. 5 RPM at first. 2, 1. Up, up. 5 RPM-ish. Shoulders relaxed. Breathe. 45 more seconds. Hold on to it right here. Probably nudging up around an 8 out of 10 feeling. Just gonna do it for a little bit. 30 more seconds. Come on, guys. Right here. 20. Come on. Really good, guys. Last 10. Let it go. Back to your comfortable cadence. Easy gear. So I see Roger there. I think that might be his real background behind his house in Lethbridge. And I was thinking, one element we want to talk about, and this can be whatever speed you're riding an event, like the GranFondo, whether you're going 20, 25K an hour, 30, 35K an hour, or a little bit faster. The one thing that we often have to deal with is wind. We're going to talk about that today. I do one more thing in this structured piece. You're going to do in this easy gear. Now I'm just cueing you unrestricted leg speed. Okay, so exploring that upper end, not that comfortable for a lot of us, still uncomfortable for me, coming from the disciplines that I've come from, meaning not track. But we're going to start out preferred cadence in an easy gear. And I want you just to feel basically the perimeter of the circle with a little nudge behind the pedals. You guys on your regular bikes, almost to a person should be in your small chainring. I want the effort to be feeling right now, 3, 4 out of 10. And you're going to wind it up for me over 90 seconds. The focus of this, remember, I said power, which equals speed on your bike, is going to be generated by a combination of things, right? One of them was leg speed, one of them's gear. If you just keep increasing your gear to go faster, you'll eventually just top out muscular fatigue. Can't do it. Doesn't mean we don't train our big gear work, but we got to train our leg speed. Okay, 90 seconds from this preferred cadence. I'm going to cue you up, up. Try and just lift it with me at a 5-ish RPM rate. And I want you at your max, settled in your saddle near the top. Here we go. First lift coming up. Up, up. If you started at 90, your goal right now, about 95, and lifting it again, up, up. I want you to 100 RPM pretty quickly. Sorry, I had to drop to 100 RPM. I'm going to come with you now. Gonna be at 30 seconds soon. You got a minute to go. Up, up. Quiet in the upper body. Over 100 RPM now. Eyes up. Don't look down at your feet. Good. It'll tend to make you punch down into them. All right, we're almost at 45 seconds to go. Up, up. You should be 105, 110. Into our overreaching. Feel it through your feet. Up, up. Come on, guys. Those of you who've ridden a lot, 110-ish, more. Getting to our last 15 seconds. This will start to become not so much a cardiovascular effort, more just technique. And last one, 20 seconds. Up, up. Come on, guys. Don't lock your elbows. Shoulders away from your ears. Settle into the saddle. Hold it right here. Almost the last 5. 3, 2, and let it go. Now that's a bit uncomfortable if you've never had it introduced. The point is to learn a little bit more leg speed, not to ride around at 115 RPM. You're exploring your range, okay? So we're gonna get in to main part of the workout. I mentioned Roger, who's there in Lethbridge. One of the interesting things about living in a windy place is you don't really need hills. There's a lot of force you have to go out and smash yourself against just to get places. Remember doing team time trial in Regina, and one way we were going 65k an hour, and the other way we were going about 22 into the wind. So it can be a real contributor to what you have to do on the bike. What we're going to do, and I know it looks a little confusing up here maybe, we're going to simulate what's called an echelon. And we're not going to envision we have our wheels all crossed over like you see the pros doing, but it is utilizing the group. You guys have all been introduced to paceline-y kind of stuff, where you take a turn on the front, giving the people behind you a little bit of a break, and then you drop to the back, you get a break coming through. We're going to be doing a little bit of that as well towards the end of the ride. But the first part, what we're doing is more of a constant rotation. And I'm going to say there's 8 of us, and it's about 15 seconds every position in the group, just to make it an easy number. So you're going to settle in to a 70% at your 90 to 100 cadence effort. That's basically where we're riding for everyone. And we're starting you rolling into the back of the line. And what happens is you have a windy side, comes back, and a non-windy side that goes up. And it means that because it's windy, nobody's sitting out in the wind for a long time. You're all working together to keep a constant rotation. You can look this up, learn more about it. It's hard to explain here in a few simple sentences, but the concept is you're never staying on the front for a long time. You're working with your little group, and this can work with a small group. And we're going to start the effort where you're not the front person who's just come over, but you're on the windy side, you're coming back, you're coming back. You're going to stand just to get yourself over to the other side at the back. Make sure you don't create a gap. Once you're really good at this, you'll actually be so on it that you'll just flow right onto that wheel. Takes a while. So all you have to know is 90 to 100 cadence, 70%. We're doing it for 12 minutes, and there's going to be changes. We'll have 45 seconds going back, go to the other side, 45 seconds forward, increase to get yourself over to the windy side again. So we're protecting our people. I'll talk about that. We're going in 15 seconds. So find that cadence, have a little drink, If you're on the playlist and you drop into song 9, Billie Eilish, I think it is, that'll get you through this 12 minutes. All right, everybody ready? 70%. Bring that gear up in that comfortable cadence range so that you have some room to increase. Okay. Core has to be strong here because it's windy, right? You felt what it's like in the wind. We're already 2 positions back. We're getting 1 more, and then we're going to move over to the other side. So this is just a rhythm you'll get into. Take some concentration when you're out there for real. All right, moving from the slow side, windy side, to the other side. Give it a little up, up. Get yourself on those wheels again. And nicely back down. Now you're on the fast side. Shelter from the wind. Good. Back into your rhythm. This is something that if you are fatigued and you're coming out of that canyon on the sea to sky, this can be golden. All right? Good job. Almost at second from the front. Lock into this rhythm. First full rotation, almost done. All right, you're at the front on the sheltered side. Moving yourself over. Pick up the leg speed. Up, up. Up to your 8 out of 10. It's just a quick one. Moving over and settle back. Awesome. I did this with a group of women on a 20K expanse one time. Oh, takes so much attention. Well, it does. But it means everybody's taking care of each other, trying to maximize what you got left for the punchy bit at the end. Okay, you're almost at the back again. Almost at the back. Gonna move over to that other side. It's moving up on the quiet side. Sheltered, up, up. Come on, guys. Slot yourself onto those wheels. Take it back down. Good job. Just hold this rhythm. You're at your hour power all the times except moving over to the non-windy side of the group and on the front. Rest of the time, you can play with your gears if you want. Remember, I said 90 to 100 RPM. If you can use your leg speed, 1 gear less, do it. Okay? 5 seconds. We're back on the front. In 2, 1. Wind up the cadence. Up, up. 80-ish feeling. It's short. This is the equivalent of your pull. And you're on the front of the windy side. Drop it back. 70%. The difference here is you're waiting for that next person to come across and get their wheel in front of you. Different from a pace line. All right, you got that wheel in front of you now. Feeling better. Rolling back in the line. On the windy side. Good job. Got another 15 seconds. Another position. And you're gonna move over to the non-windy side. Hold on to this. And get on those wheels, up, up. Moving yourself over at the back. As I said, this could be done seated. 2, 1, take it down. All right, you're on the fast side. Good job, get into the rhythm again. 70%. Each time you give a little blip, recover, recover. Almost at second from the front. Core solid. You're on the side that's sheltered. You're not getting blown by the wind so much. It's going to be your turn to do your little acceleration and pull over. 2, 1. This is your 15 seconds in the wind. Up, up. Cadence. 3, 2, and you're on the windy side again. Waiting for that next wheel to come over. You're halfway through. Good job. 3 more full rotations. Come on, guys. Recover, recover. Letting yourself come back again now. There's that wheel in front of you. Feels a little bit better. Remember your gears. Hold the power, hold the effort, but you can do it at a higher cadence if you want. As long as you're comfortable. All right, almost back position. Back position. Moving to the other side. Up, up. Come on, guys. Two, 1. Back in the line. The standing up as well. When you're on the back, if you make a mistake and you throw your bike, hate it when we do that. Throw your bike a little bit out the back, you're not going to hurt anyone. If you do it in the middle of the line, it'll be a bad thing. Okay. Almost back at the front. On the fast side again. 1 rider in front of us, just holding the rhythm. Come on, guys, you're doing really well here. Battling this windy section. There you are. On the front, increase the cadence. Up, up. Come on, guys. Coming through, giving that poor person on the windy side a wheel they've been waiting for. 2, 1. Now you're on the windy side at the front. Awesome job, guys. 2 more rotations. Recover, recover. Hold that 7 out of 10. All right, there's a wheel in front of you again. Next person has dropped in front of you. You've got the draft again. Awesome. Almost at the back. 1 more. And you're going to move over. This time, if you want to just do it by acceleration, practice that. Stand with me. 2, 1. Over to the other side. Come on, guys. Awesome. 2, 1. Take it back down. On the fast side. Doesn't mean the effort is higher, but you're getting protection from the wind. All right, moving from last rider. Moving up the line. Holding on right here. Awesome job. Keep it going. Second from the front now. Your turn's coming up. Second last time doing this. Wind it up. 8 out of 10. Pushing into the wind. Tiny bit. Moving yourself over. Really aware of getting in front of those wheels nicely. 2, 1. On the windy side. Good job. Stay focused. You're feeling the wind, not just directly in front of you, but from the left side, head cross. That's where this makes the most sense. All right, you got that wheel in front of you again. Awesome job. Moving towards the back. Almost there. Hold that focus. This is advanced. Okay? Gonna stand and move over the other side. 2, 1. Up, up. Not bothering anyone behind us because there's no one behind us. 2, 1. In the line. Three minutes total. Stay with me here. All right, in the fast line, in the fast lane. Stay composed. Use those gears. Moving in to second from the front. All right, this is your turn. Into the wind, over to the other line, up, up, come on. Lift your cadence up, head up, especially on the front, because we're gonna drop ourselves in right in front of those wheels. 2, 1, last time through, come on guys. Last rotation. Recover, recover. There's the wheel in front of you, giving you some draft. Moving back in the line. Now you have 2 wheels in front of you. Feels good. Almost at the back. This is last time I said, right? Okay, stay with me on this. Moving over to the other side. Up, up. Come on, guys. Get onto that fast line again. Awesome. Slot yourself in at the back. Come on, guys. Learn to use this. You're comfortably uncomfortable. Definitely more uncomfortable. Okay, you're not last wheel anymore. Moving up. Good job, you got one more turn. Pulling it over. Everybody's gonna wind it up just for the finish here. Okay, getting ready to wind up our cadence. We're finishing this effort for everybody. 2, 1, come on. Wind up the cadence. Finish line of this piece. 10, 5. Come on, guys. 2, 1. Easy, easy. Let it go. Good job. Recover, recover. So if you have a little training group, people you trust, and you feel that you're able to do this sort of thing, this is something we can practice when it's windy, and being very mindful, dependent on the level you're at, of how close you are. But what happens in crosswinds is the dynamic changes and the draft is no longer You could be riding in a head crosswind, and you have a person in front of you, directly in front of you, and you go, oh, I don't feel like I'm getting any draft. Well, you're not, actually. If the wind's coming from over here, it's still hitting you almost the same as if you were on the front. So this is just a little thing that, as I say, look it up, learn about it. If you watch any pro racing, you'll see them use it. That's at a very, very advanced level. But the concepts of keeping yourself fresh on these big rides and thinking about where the wind's coming from and thinking about where you are relative to the wind can save you a ton of energy. Right, Roger? Anyone from a windy city knows about this. Okay, so that was a training tool to learn about, and for the most part, almost all the 10 years that I've ridden the RBC Whistler GranFondo, I would say there's been a pretty windy section. Last year was brilliantly not windy, from what I remember, but quite often we have wind up there, especially if you're getting there later on in the day. So it's always useful to know ways to get yourself to the end in better shape. So this is just a little bit of recovery here, and I'm going to talk you through the last part. We're coming out of, we did these 2 hills at the end in our last crux session, and I've put them in again because I think you have different feelings depending on how you start an effort. So we're going to start with those 2 because they'll set us up as more what we'll feel like when we're trying to do the rest of it. We're then going to simulate going right up to the village. Okay, so obviously the times will be a little bit off, trying to make it all work for you. 13 minutes is the whole effort, so a little bit longer than the last one. And we're going to start on a flat at that 70% number is our hour power. And as I said before, the hour power when you're playing up and down around it, obviously the hour power is your reference point, but this ride is more than an hour by a long shot. So you're pushing it, you're coming back down, you're recovering in parts, and you're playing around that number that you know you're fairly safe at. Okay? So we're going to get into this with a 1 minute flat, 1.5 minute hill. You're going to push hard up there at a lower cadence, simulating what you might be at in a steep climbing pitch, because it is steep in parts. 1 minute, little brief recovery. Try and get there as quickly as you can, using that cadence so that you're in an easier gear. Another minute, pitch, and then we're going to do a little pace line rotation and then some hard pushes up and over the last little couple of rollers into the village. And if you're trying to make a 4 hour, you will definitely be feeling some punchy efforts at the end here. Everybody will be motivated to do that, as is the case with 5 hour when I've ridden with people who are at that speed, which is more like 25K an hour average. Might be a bit more spread out further back, but even so, if you know how to maximize your effort at the end, it's worth so much. Okay? So we're into this now. First minute, I'm going to roll you into it. A little bit short here, 90 to 100 cadence at your 70%. The playlist, if you're on song 14, should work. Give you something for the rest of the time. Song called Teeth. All right, getting ready. We're right there. 5 seconds. I want you 70% proper. I want you 90 to 100 cadence. Lots of cues here, okay? This is setting up for that couple of hills out of Function Junction, which is on the perimeter of Whistler, little industrial area, Olympic Village. We did these 2 last session. We're doing them again. Okay, guys, you're on the flat right now through Function. You'll start to see that little hill, little annoying hill, because it's at over 110K now. Okay, so getting ready for that. As we go into it, you'll drop the cadence. You'll give me a good push in gear 80%. Start dropping the cadence right now. A minute and a half coming up in 2, 1. Come on. Bring it into your legs. Core. Super strong, guys. Come on. Let your feet move. Let your ankles move. Awesome job. 30 seconds almost. In control. Strong through the bottom of the pedal stroke, up and around the back. Right here, guys. Oh, you nice little group. Nice little group. Looking towards the crest. Always looking where you want to go. Don't hang your head down. Don't look down at your feet, especially out on the road. 20 seconds. You can see there's a little break in the climb, a little step. You're going to try and get as much recovery as you can before the next little pitch in 10 seconds, all right? Up and over this part. In 2, 1, release the gear a bit, 60%. At the most if you can. Come on, leg speed, leg speed. Moving the blood around. Might be able to get yourself a little sip of water. 30 seconds. Use this. Remember, when you can learn to pedal a little bit faster, you're able to ride in a little bit easier gear. Same power. All right, 10 seconds. Slow the cadence down. 1 minute hill. I want you over your 80%. Climbing cadence. 2, 1. Come on, guys, dig in. Get fierce. You're going for that 4 or 5 hour time. You've got to get over these in good shape. Stay with your posse or keep them in sight. Come on. Strong. Use those visuals. Maybe there's an animal. Maybe there's a rider. Maybe there's your buddy. That's who you look like. That's who you are. Come on, feed off it. Over the crest. 15 seconds. There you are, you got your little group. Stay with it. Going right into a pace line. Okay? Getting ready. Bit of gear off. 70%. Come on. 90 to 100 cadence now. Get yourself locked in. This is focus. This is focus now. Lot less than 10K. Okay, you made it onto the back of your posse. You can even let the gear drop a little bit more. 60%. 1 minute. Recover. Recover. This is all the things you've been learning about doing. You're putting them into practice. 4 of you. In the middle. 30 more seconds like this. This is where we're doing turns on the front. So now you do a turn. You're second from the front. Trying to get up to another little group ahead of you. Using your buddies here. You got to turn on the front coming up. Using cadence or gear. 30 seconds. Up to your 80%. 2, 1. Come on. Now it's a turn on the front. Come on, all you can think about is the village. Come on, guys. Almost there. In 2, 1, signal on the back. 70%. Come on, guys. 2 turns through this group. There's a group ahead. This is where you start to find shattered people. You're not one of them. You stayed out of the wind. You rode smart. All right, moving into the middle of your group. A little bit less gear. 6 out of 10. 1 minute. Come on, guys. This is focus. This is knowing you only have about 4K left at the most. Come on. Tagging right onto the tail end of that group. No pun intended. All right, second rider from the front. Hold it here. One more pull. Saving some juice, but this is you connecting with the group ahead so you can finish the last couple of rollers. Nice posse. You got your eye on the prize. Come on, guys. 30-second turn on the front now. Pace line. 3, 2, come on. 80%. Push it. Right onto those girls and guys ahead. Up, up. Come on, nothing to save it for now. On the group. Let's slot right in there. 90 to 100 cadence all the way now. Back the gear off. Little bit. 70%. 60 seconds. Now to your final charge. 2 rollers. A flat. Into the village. Okay? Come on, everybody. Stay on the pedals. 70% minimum. On a roller, but we're in a group, so you're getting a little bit of cover. Over the crest. It's the first one of 3. Gonna get 30 seconds on a downhill. Hold on to it. Gear comes back a tiny bit. Little bit of gear off. High cadence. Come on. Sitting nicely in your group here. You're thinking about that beer at the end. About the great feeling you're gonna have. Especially if this is dipping under your time goal. Hold on to that cadence. Bringing up the effort again. Bringing up the gear. Another little roller. These are just about 3%-ish. Come on. Less than a minute to go on it. This one, then one more. But you don't think about that. You just think about pedal stroke by pedal stroke. You're where you want to be. You've made an amazing effort today. The village is right there. Almost done this roller. You're getting a little downhill again. Suck those up. Suck up that recovery. Hold on to leg speed. Use your sweet spot. All those things we talked about. All right, 30 seconds. Little bit of gear off. You're on a downhill again. One more time. So good, come on. Feel the fire. Get fierce. Last roller. Last surge. 70 to 80% before the sprint, that is. Okay, a little bit of gear. Hold the cadence. 1 minute. Only got a minute and a half left. Making that corner soon. Come on, everybody. Like a steam engine. Keep throwing that on the fire. All right, almost on the flat. Okay, hold on to this. Hold on to it. Everybody's getting a little jittery. Minute from the finish. Gonna back off the gear. Keep the legs free. Down into a little dip. Come on, Roger. Almost on the finish straight. This is the dip. Up the other side. Gonna make a left-hand turn. I want everybody to give me your last bit of gear. Your last match. Come on. 30 seconds to the finish. Sprint, sprint. Pick it up. 20. Come on. Push, push. Taking it right under the line. 5, 2, 1. And let it go. As we used to say, I can make a yippee. Never make a yippee before the finish line. How many times have we seen that go wrong? Gold medals lost. People falling down at the line. When you're in that straight, the other thing is too, eyes forward. Eyes forward, core really strong, riding through. And I've said this a lot of times before, but it's an amazing concept of us humans. It doesn't matter what speed you've been going at. When that barn is ahead, everybody gets fired up, right? It's exciting. There's people all the way down, finish shoot. You feel like you're at the Tour de France. Had one of my young coaches one year though, he got dropped from the front group just at the end. So he did a Superman across the line. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that takes a lot of core. Your stomach on the saddle, feet out the back. Don't try this at home. Or try it at home. Don't try it out anywhere else. Okay, great effort everybody. Thanks for playing a little game with me. We've successfully gotten through our sections, but we still have a week and we're still 2 more sessions. And we're still going to go back and revisit a few things. And I would be really interested to see how you feel, those of you that have put in a good solid 6 sessions, how you feel revisiting a couple of the early concepts. At least there's some really good quality intensity that you've done. Some good variety of stuff. Hopefully, I've thrown a lot at you, so hopefully you've absorbed some. And again, you'll ask me some questions by email or chat through our system. And so it's been really great to have you along for today. that's a wrap.